Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're just going to let some folks jump in here real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and kind of walk and talk and take a look at what's going on down here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, outside of the Hennepin County Courthouse. You got to give me bear with me on everything, guys. I'm having to clear my throat a bunch from that house fire yesterday. I'm still pretty scratchy. So we're going to run with the mic today so it's not so hard to hear. Plus, we're going to be talking to folks. I want to make sure that you guys can hear them all right. So I'm going to go ahead and double check our signal here, make sure everything's looking bueno. If you would, anyone that's jumping in, share the stream out. I'd really appreciate that. And let's go. Yeah, like I said, you got to bear with me. My throat is cooked from that house fire. I'm just going to double check and make sure we're all golden here. How are we sounding? Anybody in the comments here? Can we hear anything? Everything sound okay? And we're going to double check over here and see what we got. All right, there we go. You might just have to turn it up in the mic if it's a little staticky. Is it a little staticky? Anybody else? Could just be that I'm talking a little loud in the mic. We're going to grab some local faces, some familiar faces here. Here in Shamar, are you the only one that's gotten static? Yeah, so it's echo. You might have it on. Sound is a little distorted. Okay, well, let me see what I got on my end here. I'm just gonna play with it a little bit here. How we sound? Anybody in the comments here? Can you hear anything? Everything sound okay? Yeah, I'm not sure. It seems like it might be okay. Let me play with my dials real quick. All right, we'll see how that works right there. And granted, we got music in the background too, so that might weigh into it a little bit. You know, someone's got a loud speaker box over here, and you guys know how that goes. Yep. All right, we'll grab Man, how you been?
I'm seeing you, man.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you again, man. You get around, huh?
I do, man. Good. I try to keep up with you guys.
Love it.
You want to walk over here real quick?
Come on,
chat with us, man? How you been? Everything good?
Man, working hard, trying to get justice for little Jake still.
Yeah.
We just talked to the DOC, where my brother has, and they're encouraged, or they're letting us know that they're still on the case.
Okay.
And what's important is that we get justice for little Jake and all the little Jakes like him. Just like George is trying to get it for everybody to look like George.
Right. How you feeling about things today?
I was telling the people, man, breakfast was good. The vibes around the city is like hella, and it's hella positive. So for once and for all, people aren't talking about bad things or negative things. We're talking about positive things and when and how, what justice looks like. We think if we get a 30 to 40 and beyond, we're talking good business.
Right.
15 ain't nowhere in hell. If you were a black armed person and you shot and murdered somebody, 30, 40 is easy. They're going to shove you 40 easy. So we need to have the police officers match what a regular citizen would match. They keep getting these light ass sentences, 5 years, 3 years. The dude in Chicago, 16 shots, only got like 3 or 5 years. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's 2021, and we're demanding justice for the Floyd family, Jacob Blake family, and everybody in between, including the Taylor family, who we love dearly.
Absolutely. And I've seen you. I've been out with all the families.
We know. Yeah,
last year, so I've had a chance to really connect with all of you guys.
Right.
How has things been for you as the families over this course this last year?
It's been tough. I mean, you know, who wants to see a video when I'm boarding the bus in Chicago and my nephew getting shot in the back 7 times?
Right.
Who, you know, Breonna Taylor's auntie could watch the video of her niece getting shot in her own home.
Right.
The Taylor family having to watch over and over the disgusting performance of this officer breaking every law that could be broken when he killed George. So it just gets overwhelming. But the reason we're specifically here is to thank the George family for all their support.
Absolutely. I know you guys been rocking together from the
And
jump.
sometimes you just got to show up.
Right, man.
Sometimes what matters when you show up.
Absolutely.
So we're here just to be here, and whatever occurs, we got their back. Good, bad, or ugly, they know we're going to all walk away together and keep fighting.
Now, you got stuff going on in Kenosha coming up here soon.
Yeah, man. Please come down August 21st.
Okay.
We got some dynamic speakers. We're having a huge rally like we did the first one that you came down to. Yeah. Last time, I think we had about 5,000 to 7,000 out. Yep. We're trying to get at least 10 or beyond to let them know that we've gone nowhere.
Absolutely.
The justice hasn't occurred. I've been living down there the last 9 months. We've held over 70 events. We've marched from Kenosha to Milwaukee, helped Biden win, turn the red state blue. You hear me? We stayed up all night in front of the courthouse 24 hours. We've done some dynamic things. Thank you to Tanya McClain and Locke, leaders of Kenosha, because they were on the forefront of helping us make that happen. Right. And we wouldn't have had the roots in the community without Tanya McClain, Locke, and many other organizations that have supported the Blake family.
Right. Man, Kenosha, like it's changed. Has it changed much for you? Has it changed much for?
It seems as though, bro, that it's changed in regards to people recognizing the injustices going on.
Okay.
But the powers that be haven't relinquished the belt.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in that regard, it still hasn't changed. We were arrested. I don't know if you know. No. So I was arrested for sitting in front of a police station holding a nonviolent protest.
I did hear that, yes.
And while we were arrested, they tore our rotator cuff, man. So our left shoulder is very in much pain and unable to use it because while we were in their custody, they put us in a restraining chair to tear our rotator cuff, bro.
Do you think you got excessive treatment?
Oh, definitely.
You think you got that because of who you are?
Definitely.
Okay.
And they kept pretending that they didn't know who we were.
Right.
And the pastor, there was Reverend Pastor Jonathan that got arrested with us. Joe Cardinelli had enough courage to sit down with us and demand justice. They were arrested as well, but they were Caucasians.
Okay.
And they admittedly said, we didn't get what you got.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, things have not changed.
Okay.
And if they would hurt us, then what would they do to the average guy that, most people may not know? Right. So we're here to protect the rights of others that can't protect themselves or speak for themselves, man, ultimately.
Absolutely. You feel like right now some of these icon cases like Jacob Blake, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, they represent a forward movement. And what does that symbolize for you?
Well, I'm the great-grandson of Garveyite, who was Marcus Garvey. My other grandfather, great-grandfather on the other side was a Pullman Porter. My grandfather was a Tuskegee Airman. My father marched 3 times with King. This is a culmination of all that, bro.
Right.
This is Emmett Till's justice.
Right.
You know what I mean? These are all the people that got nothing, bro.
Right.
But get on with your life. Their family members tried to weave together the best they could. This would provide some oasis for those who got no justice at all.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the change look like moving forward?
Policing different. Money's putting into the community to educate, to employ, to put seed money there to start African descendant businesses. If you have a thriving business and you have a thriving community, you won't have crime. Right. I've been to Australia, I've been to Fiji, I've sort of been around the world a little bit, and I can always go into the ghetto, find drugs, crime, low education.
Right.
So if we fix those factors, don't give me more goddamn police, bro.
Right.
Fix what's wrong. Fix the underlying wrong, and the bridge is staying for years.
Gotcha.
So this is the bridge to justice that we're building. We're not talking about no damn movement. We're talking about a lifestyle of loving African descendants for all we've given this country, for us to stop hurting each other, and then demand that the rest of the world respect us as well.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Man, that's incredible.
Always good to see you, family.
Always good to see you.
You know it.
Yeah.
You got a card on you so I can let you know about the 21st?
I got Charles with me, actually. I met up with him. Charles Sims, yeah. He's floating around here, always dapper in the suit.
don't let us get away without some way of giving y'all a number so we can let you know about the 21st.
Absolutely.
You think there's a lot of people down here? They're going to be down there for the 21st.
I'll be back, man. I've been planning trips back to Kenosha for a minute.
Okay,
now, man. That's home away from home.
We know.
Yeah,
I mean, I was going to start. Are you living here too?
Yeah, right.
I've seen you. So did you pull in somewhere too?
Yeah, right.
So, man, it's just exciting times, man. Why would you not want to be involved at a time like today?
Absolutely. History's being made right now.
Right now.
And people, I think, are forgetting that, like, this isn't just, a moment. Right?
It seems like that to people, bro.
It does.
But look, when you go past that, they're still talking about President Obama.
Right.
They're still talking about the other presidents because when you put out bills or you do things, it has long-lasting effect.
Yeah.
This will have a 50-year lasting, 100-year lasting effect, bro.
Imagine 2020, man, in 10, 15, 20 years, people will still be referring back
That's right.
to 2020.
If we can set precedents today in a positive manner, which means 30 to 40 years away in jail, that's a game changer.
What do you think is going to happen if he doesn't? What if he gets probation time served?
Man, bro, they don't have enough insurance policies.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just being for real.
Oh, yeah.
And I just told another station, we don't have to be ashamed that we're angry. Right. God damn it, if we don't get justice, we got the right to be mad. Right. And how that manifests itself, we'll see.
Right. And I mean, that's leaving it open.
Hey!
Because we've seen a lot over the last year.
A lot, bro.
Man.
It seems as though everything we've gone through the last 400 years has pimp slapped us the last 2 years.
Right.
Overzealous police officers. A young lady pulled over for a traffic ticket that mysteriously dies in jail. The blatant chokehold that they put on Brother Brown in New York that was outlawed. Breonna Taylor in the home, shot in her own pajamas. And then Floyd, and then my nephew that everybody saw around the world getting shot in the back, justifiably 7 times. No crime charge, no commitment on crime. No crime? Then how did you get shot 7 times?
I find that real interesting right now that a lot of people have looked past that. That all the focus, of course, is going to be on the officer that took the shots.
Right.
But they've looked right past the fact there was no subsequent charges that came in on Jacob Blake thereafter.
Come on.
I mean, I know from a life that I lived previously.
Yeah.
I got popped for a few traffic stops, and it's like they picked what they wanted, but the traffic stop itself just disappeared. Like, well, what's the point?
See what I'm saying? So it's the underlying undergame for the overplay.
Yeah.
So we just want upright justice. Yeah. We want equal times to access capital so we can direct them into our community to those that deserve to start businesses that will be long lasting, that will be able to self-sustaining. Our community should look like downtown Chicago, brother, but it doesn't. South Side looks the same since I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, the West Side looks the same since it was torn up and blown up after Martin Luther King for the most part.
Right.
So the people that are coming in at what I refer to as interlopers that are getting big money are, they're not from the neighborhood. Yeah. And it's an insult to the people that now you can come into our community, make good gobs of money. Right. Reefer sales in Chicago and in Illinois. Why do African Americans have a license, bro? We went to jail incredibly selling weed and all kind of things. Right. But we can't have a right to a license. Right.
Come on. Man, it's got to be looking different now. I mean, because I think people forget what Kenosha and some of these places, the communities out in the Midwest, some of these established communities, they're not transient communities. These people that have been there, that have lived there generationally. Yeah. I mean, like you're talking about, your family's been in that neck for generations.
70 years in one house, 70 years.
Yeah, see, that's incredible because I've lived in probably 7 houses in the last 10 years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
My great-grandfather's a Pullman porter. And that's how he got the money to buy the house. Yeah. If you ever watched the movie or read the book Raisins in the Sun, absolutely, that would be applicable to us. Our great-grandfather was the first African-American on the east side of the Dan Ryan.
Wow. Okay. So much history there. And I think a lot of people forget that this is something that represents a historical look back. You know what I mean? Bro. And it's not just history being made, but it's the culmination of all the things that have led us to where we're at.
That's right. And I think many religions talk about God working in mysterious ways. Yeah. How is it that the great-great-grandson of a Pullman porter and a Garveyite could be the turnkey to changing things?
Yeah. You think people found a lot more religion in the last year? You think people are praying more?
If they didn't, family, we hope they do. I mean, because everything just brings you closer to center. A lot of people, and I say this often, we don't any longer want a quiet moment with self. Right. We like static. We like the TV. We like a whole bunch of this and that. True. But how many people really know themselves and know the people standing next to you?
Why do you think that is?
I just think it's the way our society is built now. Everything's quick.
Yeah.
Everybody wants everything yesterday.
Sure.
Good things don't come quick, family.
They don't.
You know, it takes a little marinating if you want that steak good on the grill or whatever. I mean, it takes time.
Absolutely.
So we believe 401 years is enough time. And that the Floyd family is going to rock the base today for us. We're going to stand proudly with them.
Right.
And although this would be a celebration of sorts,
Sure.
man, I got to strap my boots up tomorrow and get ready to go because we got more fighting to do.
Because you have to stop it, man.
Man,
I mean,
and we can't. As his uncle, until we get some resolve, we can't.
Right. And you got the whole fam out here right now, right? I saw Jake Sr.
Jake's over there. This is my man Ed from the crib. David's with us. And we just felt it was important to have a good showing down here.
Sure.
And solidarity, brother, that's going to win the day.
Let me ask you, what happened when the officer involved in your nephew's shooting went back to work on the
That's
force?
how we got arrested.
Right.
My brother found out he was back at work, and that's how we got arrested. We blocked off the police building there from 3 in the afternoon till 10 at night.
Right.
And that's when we got arrested because my brother wanted some type of action to take place
Sure.
after he found out this son of a gun was back at work.
Is he still back working right now?
He's at work, yeah.
Has he seen, you think he's seen any reprisal from the community when he's out on patrol or doing what he does?
He's been on the desk mostly from what we understand.
Right.
But if we were him, I wouldn't want to walk outside.
No, I mean,
there's no telling.
There's a lot of hate, a lot of anger.
A lot of hating, crazy people out there. So, we've always, as the Blake family, encouraged nonviolent actions to what we were trying to do.
Right.
But I think as a governing body and a nation, you don't want to ever take anything off the table.
Right.
This is a big push. This is 400 years of being hung, lynched, burned up, tarred, demasculated, etc., coming to a head.
Right.
So it's really careful how we conduct ourselves moving forward because that will set the temperature and the tone for years coming. Right. So I say this to all my brothers, like my imam says to us, I tell you as I tell myself, don't do anything you don't want to be accountable for.
Absolutely.
If you can sleep with it, do it. Right. If you can't, we'd ask you to.
I think you hit it on the head. That's why a lot of people don't want to stay at home with their thoughts. They don't want the silence, the distortion, because a lot of people are having a tough time sleeping with themselves, dealing with the things they're dealing with.
Oh, man, you're a smart man. After our divorce to our wife, for 3 to 4 years, I just focused on self.
Right.
Working on my business, taking care of my 2 sons, and self. Not many people want to self-reflect these days, bro.
And
there's some deep embedded stuff that we don't want to deal with necessarily. And so that's what happens. But those who are able to deal with it are going to be those who are working in the triage, trying to help others keep their head up.
I think that is the most incredible thing you can do. When you're having trouble dealing with it, find somebody that can help get through it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Come on, bro. And then you work yourself through each other.
Absolutely.
Well, that's how the Blake families do it with the Floyds.
Right.
That's how we do it with the Taylors. Right. We talk to Breonna Taylor's auntie at like 2 a.m. sometimes.
Right.
What's going on tonight, bro? I'd be like, man, I just need to talk to somebody.
Right.
Or Mr. Jones or some of the other families. Miss Brown. Call you at the oddest time.
Right.
I just want to hear your voice.
Right.
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah.
We don't even ask each other anymore, do we?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That used to be a commonality. How are you?
This conversation is one that, historically wouldn't have happened. But I think even in the last year, people have separated themselves so much that they're afraid to even get involved in another person's life,
Yeah, I was in Racine, Wisconsin the other day, and a traditional guy, just because of our society, that you wouldn't think would be having a conversation with African-American brothers, hippie-looking dude comes down the sidewalk.
Right.
And, people might have said he was looking sort of bummish or whatever.
Right.
But, man, the dude looked up and said, how are you doing? How's your day going? Are you serious? So we say, young dude, you just changed the whole flavor of our day. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's a blessing and a free gift that you can give to somebody.
Absolutely.
That might be going through some suicidal thoughts. We were riding with him the other day. We saw a train sitting on the tracks. We were going the opposite way. I'm like, bro, did you see that? He said, yeah, man. I mean, I don't know if they're trying to do suicide or what, but the train and the car were like this. So you don't know what people are going through, man.
Absolutely.
You just don't.
No. Until you ask, take a second and look, man. Like, I can tell this is affecting you right now. Just
take a second.
Yeah. That's all it takes, too. Just a second.
And you could have saved somebody's life.
Absolutely. Just showing that you care enough to humanize somebody, you know?
Because really, we're in such a dehumanizing world.
Absolutely.
Especially as an African descendant or other. Yeah. You don't very rarely get to have a moment of solace and respect.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of static. We walk out into this world and the whole world is focused on standing on our head in order for them to get ahead. Yeah. And we have to stop this win-loss scenario, and we have to talk about a win-win.
Absolutely. Man. I love talking to you. Every time it's the best stuff.
I ain't gonna give you nothing that ain't real, baby. I just want to give you what's on our mind.
Absolutely.
You got your phone with you?
I do, yeah.
Could you please put our number in there in Texas just so we can...
I'm gonna let you type it in so it's not out on the web.
But I do the same thing to make sure people get it right.
Absolutely.
There go your boy, yeah.
Where's it?
Brother Muhammad.
Oh, there we go.
Look at you, Big Mo.
Here you go.
All right, family. We back. I see y'all still out here fighting on the front lines.
Make sure you got the information for the 21st. Always good to see you. Take care. And we're gonna be around.
Yeah, I'll be in town for the weekend too.
To the square in a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was talking to Charles. Maybe we'll grab something to eat later.
There you go. Now we're talking.
Okay. Hey, we all need some food now.
Got to, baby. Peace, baby. Good to see you.
Much love, my friend.
What's up, brother?
And there you go. So it's Justin right there. Justin Blake, the uncle of Jacob Blake. Yeah. So, like I said, I've had a lot of opportunity to spend time, not just on marches, but on a personal level, with getting to know some of these folks, and it's just, it's a beautiful opportunity to reconnect with the people behind these stories, because I think a lot of times we get ourselves stuck thinking about these headlines, right? And really, what's going on is that is the dehumanized aspect of what's going on. I think out here right now in the worst way. Is that we've gotten to a place where we just look at people as the headline, right? And we forget about the fact that whether you agree with people or not, behind them is a life they've lived, the people that are living that life with them, children, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, grandparents, grandchildren, So no matter where you're at, man, I hope people can soften up a little bit and appreciate that. Like he said, like Justin was saying, I love him for saying it. It doesn't take much to just ask some questions. Take a minute, look past where you're at, and appreciate that other people are going through some stuff too, man. We saw that last night while we were out in LA and handing out some food, and we had a chance to really just and I got a chance to pray with a gentleman who was interesting how he brought it up too. He came up, said he had a bad heart and he was dealing with being on the street, and he asked if we would pray. He's getting me choked up too. But, he asked if I'd pray with him, and so I bowed my head and we just kind of sat there in silence, and I thought maybe it was a silent prayer. And then he looked up and he's like, "Well, are you going to pray?" And I was like, "Oh, you're asking me to pray." And I realized that he was just looking for somebody else to reach out and minister with him in a way that I've never had anybody. Man, I've never had anybody ask me to just be a part of their healing like that before, just to blatantly reach out on the street and just say, "Hey, man, could you be a part of this with me?" And that for me was, all night, man, it stuck with me in a big way. That all we needed to do was take a second and bow ahead and with somebody. And that was huge. So now being said, Kat, Harvey, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate you. I'm trying to watch the comments as best I can here. So if I want to make sure we've got, sorry, I'm going to switch directions here, get me all choked up. I'm already having a tough time talking because of that house fire. So like I said, it's, get me all emotional and things. It's going to be tough for me to do that, man. What I'm going to ask right now, though, as we look at things, and I'm catching on the, All right, we're back. We're back. Uh, what I'm going to ask of everyone here right now is to just make sure we keep these comments civil. Okay, I know people are going to have their own views and opinions, and I encourage you to share those. But just remember right now that this is not a place to attack, bash, or basically just go after people. Share your comments or your feelings with people. That's fine. Ask questions. That's great. But if you want to go on a personal attack or rant, you got their name right there. Drive in there into their DMs and go ahead and do that somewhere else, okay? Because we don't need that to happen on here. I just want to make sure you guys know that my mods right now, we're not going to put up with that. We definitely want to keep this as a healthy place for conversations to take place. So make sure to do so. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I hope that we can all do that. So I'm going to be checking my other phone periodically. So if I go quiet, just hopefully we can appreciate this current surroundings and right now. So. But I know that we do have about 15 minutes until until the court hearings will start. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about that actually here in just a second. I just want to make sure we've got our sound is up and everything's looking good. You can just tell me in the comments actually, man. How's everything sounding? We doing okay? Everything good? And again, yeah, there's a thing. Like we could fact check all day, guys. So if someone's posting up a bunch of like just hearsay, we have no problem just block those comments and kick them out. Again, don't claim to be a professional, you know what I mean, or an official on some things if you're not, you know what I mean. So some of the things we need to keep in mind right now, guys, with this case, and I'm going to take a look at things real quick that I think are that are important to keep in mind. That right now, so Derek Shoven right now is facing the charges for three different. Well, he's facing the sentencing for three different charges. So he has 2 counts of murder, second degree, and third degree murder that he's been found guilty on, and a manslaughter charge, which he's also been found guilty on. Now, Judge Cahill is presiding over this case. He's got the overall, the gavel of decision right now for what kind of sentencing and judgment is going to take place today. So the average sentencing right now for second degree murder is anywhere between 10 to 15 years. And that's based on the fact that Derek Shoven has no prior criminal record. Did Chauvin come in wrong, Vicky? Well, whatever. We'll get it sorted out later. Alba Rios, you're gone. Go ahead. Again, I'm going to do this, you guys. I'm going to jump in. You don't need to be here. Go ahead and talk somewhere else. So, mods, you go ahead and do that. I'll do it if I need to here real quick. Boom. Boom. There we go. And where are we at here? I will not be in the courthouse, just to be clear. In your tagline. Does it say Chauvin? Man, I'm sorry, guys. I was like, if we could have somebody go in there, one of our mods, handle that for me, I'd appreciate it. Correct that, Sean. Hey, Vicky, thank you for sharing that. It must have auto-corrected right when I was out here trying to get myself to go live. So now keep in mind the 10 to 15 years is on the lighter side due to the fact that he has no prior record. And that goes into like your felony count, how many, like your felony points as they go up. So does the sentencing guidelines for the crime you commit. Now, the prosecution right now is asking for upward mobility up to 30 years. Now, they're basing that on 4 aggravating factors, which are things along the lines of the age of the people that had to view the crime and multiple other factors. But, yeah, Vicky, calm down. We got it. I appreciate that. It'll be fixed. All right. Or maybe it won't be fixed till later. Either way, it'll get handled. Now, the defense attorney right now is asking for a downward mobility, and what he's asking for right now is actually just probation and time served. So that being said, as I asked Justin over here, like if they actually go with that sentencing guideline based off of the defense's request, man, it's I can't imagine. Like you said, there's really no telling like the ramifications and outcome of what that'll be. Not just here in Minneapolis, or not just Minneapolis, but I'm talking, everywhere else around the world. That's people that have been in solidarity with the Floyd family and with George Floyd, and in all the cases we've seen, throughout the nation, those are hot spots that could potentially blow up. So there's a couple things that'll happen in this case. So the judge will actually, like I said, he'll be doing the ultimate sentencing from from the stand. So he'll be up there, smack the gavel, take a 10 to 15 minute recess. That'll come after they have four. It's going to be 4 impact statements that'll come in. It looks like that'll be from George Floyd's family right now, and we've also got Derek Shoven is also might face an opportunity to testify as well. So bear with 1 minute here. Hello. Oh, what's up? Hey. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got you. I got you. Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate you checking. All right, Jay. Yeah, sorry, we're just double checking our connection there. So, 1 second here. All right, there we go. All right. No, so Cat Harvey, I will not be in the courtroom. They're not letting. There will be some court. So we're going to try to go ahead and have a screen showcasing what's happening in the courtroom. We got about 10 minutes to make sure we got that set up. We'll see what happens there. Man. So people are saying they think about 30 years. I think that's a fair estimate. I can't imagine probation and time served for 3 counts, three guilty counts, and I'm just two for murder.